Good morning, students. Welcome all of you to today's accountancy class. Today also we are continuing this first chapter, that is Introduction to Accounting. Some more basic terms are remaining. So till last class we discussed I think some 16 items of terms, different terms used in the first chapter. Okay. So today we will discuss some other terms. So today this will finish and the first chapter will be over. Okay. So the next term is stock or inventory. So stock means the term stock includes the value of goods which are lying unsold at the end of accounting period. The stock may be of two types, opening stock and closing stock. So whatever goods we are dealing with, business is dealing with the goods. So whatever goods remaining or unsold at the end of a particular period or accounting period means usually accounting period is from April to March. Okay, so 1st April to March is the accounting period. So on 31st March, whatever items goods, no, whatever items means not assets, not fixed assets, other goods what we are keeping for sale in the business. So that type of items, how much is remaining in the business, that is called what? Stock. So stock, another name, nowadays we use the name inventory. So this is the word you have to remember for stock. Okay. So stock are of two types of stocks are there. Both are same, only on the date it will be called in different name. So I'll tell you, opening stock and closing stock. Okay. So on 31st March, what stock is there? That is at the end of the period. So that stock is called what? Closing stock. Okay. Now on next day, that is April 1st, next day will start. Next year, next day. So April 1st, we call the same closing stock as opening stock. Okay. So today's closing stock will be tomorrow's opening stock. That only the difference. Okay. Then stock can be the stock of raw material, work in progress, or finished goods. So if we are doing factory or manufacturing business, there may be stock of raw material. Raw material may be remaining, or work in progress means half produced goods also will be under stock, or finished goods also, unsold items will be available. So these three categories of stock we can see in a factory setup of business. Okay. सपोज शुगर केन बिजनेस मीन शुगर केन होगा 31st मार्च में थोड़ा बैलेंस. देन उसके बाद थोड़ा हाफ प्रोड्यूस्ड शुगर आइटम्स में बी देयर ऑन 31st मार्च. एंड finished goods, whatever produced converted into sugar and we kept it, packed it properly, that items also ready to sale but not yet sold. So that also can be there available in the business as what? Stock. Okay. So this is called stock or inventory. Now next item is trade receivables. So trade receivables means when we receive something, when somebody has to give us money, that time only we can receive. Correct? No? Yes. So in business, what happens? Usually we make credit sales to the customers. Credit sales means the customer is unable to pay money today. We may agree with them and we can give them a chance to give the money afterwards. Okay. So that customers usually they are of two types. It includes debtors and bills receivable. Okay. So the first I'll tell the meaning. The amount receivable on account of sale of goods and or services rendered by the company in the normal course of business. So amount receivable मतलब बाद में हमको मिलेगा. So receivable in future we will be getting some amount on account of what? Sale of goods and service rendered by the company. We are selling goods and services, that's why we will be getting the money afterwards. So this contains two items mainly. Trade receivables includes debtors and debtors and bills receivable. So what do you mean by debtors? The term debtors represent those persons or firms to whom the goods have been sold or service rendered on credit and the payment has not been received from them. Clear, no? The term debtors means what? those persons, so maybe any person or firms means another business organization to whom the goods have been sold. We sold goods to them, or service we provided to them on credit. Credit means cash not received, and payment has not been received from them. Okay, from that customers. Those customers are known as what? Debtors. So debtors are for the business, it is what? Asset. So debtors are considered as what? Asset, because afterwards, now it is not in cash form, afterwards we'll be getting it in cash. Okay. Now bills receivable. So bills receivables are also another form of debtors only. Those debtors who accepted a bill is accepted by the debtors for the credit purchase. So the same thing only, these are without bill. Bill means a paper or a certificate which is certified by an advocate or notary public, and it says this much amount I have to pay to this person, or this much amount you pay to me. Like suppose I am the seller, I'll be writing the bill, and I will write what to my order, pay to me this much amount on this particular date. So the buyer has to accept that one and sign, and he will give back. Okay, so these and all we will study in later. A bill of exchange on chapter itself there in accountancy, so that time we'll discuss. So bills receivable means here no evidence. In debtors case, no evidence, just the customer is there, he purchased the goods, but no evidence that he purchased the goods and all. Maybe bill is available. Bill means what? That normal bill we will get no from shop. So this bill is not that bill. So these bills are actually stamped paper. It is valuable paper. It got validity period, and it is stamped or signed by notary public. Usually an advocate, he will sign it. Stamp paper and all, no, it got some value. So that paper we will write and keep. Suppose somebody has to give me money, I will write his name, everything, and he will accept it, and his signature also will be there in that bill. I'll keep with me. So when the due date comes, after 3 months or 4 months or 2 months, when due date comes, I submit this bill to that person, and I'll ask money from him. Okay, so this is a proof, source document, or clear proof that this person has purchased the goods from me. Okay, so that is bills receivable. Don't misunderstand, this bill is not the what items bill usually we get from the shops and all. Okay, that printout list will come, no, not that bill, this is different. Okay, so that is trade receivables. Now trade receivable opposite is trade payables. So in the same case, trade receivable, what I told you, money if we have to get from others, from the customers. Trade payable will be opposite, the business has to pay money to somebody else, usually suppliers, from where we are getting materials and all, raw materials, or from where the business is purchasing goods from outsiders. So from those persons, if we didn't pay money, then we have to pay it afterwards. So that type of things are there, that is called what? Trade payables. So trade payables are, it includes creditors and bills payable. Okay, so trade receivables, debtors and bills receivable. Trade payables means it includes creditors and bills payable. Okay, so these creditors and bills payable usually will show as liabilities in the balance sheet, because for our business it is liability, we have to pay to others. Understood, no? So trade receivables means we will be receiving from others later, but trade payables means we have to make payment to others afterwards, so it is liability. Trade receivables are assets, but trade payables are liabilities. Okay, so sundry creditors, it represents the persons or firm from whom the business have been purchased, or for the service procured on credit, and payment has not been made to them. Okay, so the business has procured or got some service, they enjoy some service or purchased something from somebody, but we have not yet paid the money back to them, that is sundry creditors. Okay, now another thing is bills payable. So just like that bill I told you, If we have to pay money on bill to somebody, then it is called what? Bills payable. Payment will be made at a future date. Afterwards only we'll make the payment. Now next is goods. So what do you mean by goods? All those things which are purchased for resale or which are used for producing finished goods, which are also meant to be sold. Yes. So what do you mean by goods? So don't misunderstand. Goods and assets are different. Okay. So goods and assets. Assets means long-term assets like a plant, machines, okay, land, building, all those things are long-term assets. For that we need more money or more capital we need. Goods means the items which the business is dealing with. Okay, suppose your shop is furniture shop, your goods are furniture. Okay, there the furniture is not asset. Suppose you are dealing with automobiles, car sale, then that all cars or whatever vehicles available in your shops, that is goods. Okay, that is not asset. So what item you are dealing with, that way we will classify. So this is very important thing, you understand it. Okay, so understood, no? So what item we are dealing with, that is called what? Goods. But for the furniture shop, furnitures are goods. But a textile shop, what is goods? Clothes items are goods, and any almirah, furniture, table, chairs are there, cupboard is there in that textile shop, that is not goods, that are assets for that business. Okay, so these assets or goods, how to decide depends on the type of business or nature of goods they are dealing with. So we can say the type of goods we are dealing with, or the main goods what we are dealing with in our business, that is called what? Goods. So for goods only we use the word purchase. When we purchase goods, we write what? Purchase. But when we purchase a machine, we write what? Machine word we write. Or land and building we purchase, we record land and building. If you purchase furniture, furniture we write. I'm not talking about furniture shop. If you are running a furniture shop, then you will write goods only, because your main job is what? You are regularly engaging in making furniture or purchasing furniture and selling it, purchasing and selling it. So this is your continuous activity. So that is what? Goods. Now cost. Next term is cost. So cost means we know. Cost is the actual expenditure spent for some goods and services. Whatever money we spend on something, total money we spent, that is called what? Cost. Example, we can say cost of machinery. Suppose cost of machinery means not only the market price of that machine. So we are going to market by hiring a transport or vehicle or truck something, we are going to market, and we are calling people to load it to the truck. Then we are reaching here for installing that machine, we are calling some people, laborers, they are installing the machine properly, and all those things involve huge cost. So not only the cost of machine, the additional expenditure incurred, such as transportation expense, freight charges. Freight means what? The amount we have to pay for the transportation of that goods, because if you are bringing it by flight or ship and all, you have to pay what? Freight. So just like when we travel, we have to take ticket from bus and all, no? So for the goods also we have to pay some money, that is called what? Freight. Then purchase price. So purchase price is the main price, but when you decide the cost, you have to add all other expenditure involved: freight, transportation charge, and installation expenses, loading, unloading charges, that also we can include. So in order to make that item into a working condition, whatever cost you are spending or whatever money you are spending, that is known as what? Cost. Okay, now next is voucher. A voucher, somewhere I told you, voucher is a document which provides authorization to pay, and on the basis of which the business transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. So vouchers are evidence that we did, or what activity has actually done in the business, and it mention the clear amount also. So this is an evidence for the business. So suppose example, I'm purchasing a machine. I'm telling the owner I purchase. Suppose I'm an employee or manager in the business. Owner is somebody else. He told me you purchase machine. So I'm purchasing machine. Suppose it is 50,000 and I'm telling him this is 1 lakh. Then he will believe no. He will ask me the document or source document or voucher he asks. What is the where is the bill and all. Okay. So that will act as a proper evidence for the transaction. So nobody can cheat you. So always any transaction happens in the business, it should be supported by proper source documents or voucher. So vouchers are serially numbered and countersigned by an authorized person of the firm. So all vouchers should be numbered properly 1, 2, 3, and it should be signed by the person who is the authority or authorized person to sign that paper. He can sign and keep it. Okay. So that is voucher. Voucher is another term. Now next is discount. So what do you mean by discount? Discount and all you familiar for you, but some more details we will discuss here. So discount means when we purchase something they may reduce some amount from your total price. Suppose 1000 rupees a bag, school bag you purchased, so they are saying 100 rupee discount. So you have to pay how much? 1000 minus 100, you have to pay 900. So that is discount. So in business, what are the discounts or available types of discounts and all that we will discuss. So discount is a rebate or allowance given by the seller to the buyer. So who is giving this? Seller. To whom? To the buyer. Okay. So this discount are of two types: trade discount and cash discount. So when discount allowed by a seller to its customers at a fixed percentage on the list price or catalog price of goods, it is called what? Trade discount. So this is what we are getting from the shop. Trade discount. When we purchase some goods, usually the seller will allow some discount on that particular product. That is called what? Trade discount. It is directly deducted in the invoice or cash memo. So invoice matlab credit sale. So if you purchase online product and all, they will show you invoice if it is cash on delivery. Invoice means on credit sales, voucher is invoice. Means credit sales, all credit sales transactions, this supported by source document or voucher, that is invoice. Or if you paying direct cash and purchasing it, you will get what? Cash memo. So from that total price, just like what I told you, suppose you are purchasing a bag, it costs rupees 1000 and they are saying 50% off, then you will be getting it for 500 rupees. Okay, so many discount offers are there. So that type of discount what we are usually seeing, that is called what? Trade discount. Another type of discount is cash discount. So this trade discount, one more thing is there, is not recorded in the books of accounts. Okay. Now 1000 rupee is the original price. We allowed him a discount of rupees 100. So we will write how much? 900. 900 only we write in the journal. When we write the journal or when we record it, we write only 900. We will not take this 100. This is 100. Okay. And 1000 also we will not write. Direct we minus and the original price received, that only will be recorded. But next is cash discount. What do you mean by cash discount? When discount allowed to the customers for making prompt payment, it is called cash discount. We discussed no debtors, creditors and all. So some customers, suppose I am a seller, you are a buyer, you are the buyer. So you purchased the goods from me for rupees 5000. Okay, so you didn't pay money to me. So you said you will be giving after 1 month. So I am telling you, if you give me after 2 weeks, I'll be giving you 1000 rupee discount. So you have to give me how much? 5000. But I am giving you, I am encouraging or motivating you to make my payment promptly in time before 1 month or after 2 weeks. Okay, so you said after 1 month I'll give you, but I am encouraging you, if you give me after 2 weeks, I'll be giving you 1000 rupees discount. So then you will be happy and you will, at least you will try to give me that amount 4000. No, so you can save 1000 rupees. So that way, usually no, to the debtors and all, business will encourage them. If they are not willing to pay, if any confusion is there, like that we can encourage them for making prompt payment. It is usually allowed by creditors to debtors. So this cash discount is not for the customers. This is between whom? Debtors and creditors. The person sold goods, or the person who has given money to someone, or the person who received money from someone. Okay. Next is bad debts. Okay. So this also related to debtors only. It is the amount that has become irrecoverable from debtors. Suppose I'm selling goods to you. You purchased from me for rupees 5,000. You purchased from me 5,000 rupees, and you gave me 3,000. You paid. Already you paid. I received. Remaining how much is there? 2,000 rupees there. That you didn't pay. And I am asking 1 year, 2 years, or 1 year तक पूछ सकता है. So 1 year over you are not paying. So then this 2,000 I will write as what? Bad debts. Bad हो गया, मतलब जो debts bad, it is called bad debts. It is an expense or loss for the business and debited to P&L account. So all items where we have to write that and all we will study. So even then it is given here. It is expense or loss. Business के लिए anyway it is loss for the business. Like a discount also loss for the business. And it is debited to P&L account. फिर क्यों discount देते हैं? Okay, so some secrets will be there in business behind that. That and all we will study later. So bad debts. Next is insolvent, another term, a person or an enterprise which is not in a position to pay off its debts. Like Vijay Mallya, okay, Nirav Modi. So many people are there in India. They borrowed money from banks, and almost all banks, they are crore padis, but they are unable to pay off their debts. What happened in their situation, or what happened to them actually is their assets is less than their liabilities. So their liability become more. So they borrowed from different banks crores and crores rupees. Now they are unable to pay back to the banks. So that is why they escaped from India. So many issues happened, I think. So when a person insolvent, so when a person's assets are, whatever assets he is having, that is less than the liabilities. Okay. So why we have to say this? No, in business it is very important. Assets should be equal to liabilities. Assets should not be more than or less than liabilities. Liabilities also should not be more than assets. Then that is a dangerous situation. So I know my monthly income, how much monthly income I am getting. So according to that monthly income only, I have to decide my borrowing capacity. That borrowing capacity will be there. Accordingly, I can borrow. So if I borrow above my borrowing capacity, then it will be creating problems and more liabilities will come. So later we'll be unable to pay off all the debts. Then whatever assets there, that also we have to sell and we have to pay off the debts. So nothing will be remaining in our pocket. Okay. So people those are facing these type of problems, ऐसे situation आ गया तो क्या करेंगे? Because business we studied, no, it involves risk and all. So if a businessman incur continuous loss and he is unable to pay back his liabilities even after selling his assets, then he can approach a lawyer and file a what a request to the court that to declare him as insolvent. मुझे insolvent करके declare करो. Okay, so that the creditors will not ask money from him. So usually in this case an official receiver will be appointed. Usually he will be a lawyer, and he will take care of all his properties and all, and he sells that property and to pay off some of the debts, whatever in possible way. Suppose I am insolvent, I have to give you 100 rupees, I may be giving you 50. So that 50, remaining 50 you have to suffer anyway loss, because court declared me as insolvent. Now you cannot question me why you are giving me only 50 rupees, you have to pay me 100. Okay. So whatever available in a proportionate way, we will distribute to all creditors, or liabilities will be paid off in a proportionate amount. So these are all a little huge and wide topic, that and all we will study in higher classes. Okay, leave it. So insolvent is the just understand what do you mean by insolvent is it is a position of a person whose liabilities are more than assets. He is unable to pay back to his liabilities. Okay, so over I think these are the these are some of the terms. Now it is not finished. When we study other chapters, different new things we will be studying. Okay, so at least you remember all these things. As a what as an introduction part, you have to remember all these things at least. So when we start problems, no, or solutions, and when we solve, there will not be any problem. Okay, thank you so much. And you can prepare notes, whatever it is there, and send to me. Any doubts also you can ask. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.